Hello and welcome back to the Computational Genomics Lab. Today we are going to do something really cool where we are going to copy all the code for this class, pages and pages of code from the class GitHub to your very own GitHub. And you can do the same process for any repository that's public. Get all the code, make modifications, and start tracking your changes using Git, the language, and seeing them appear on GitHub. Kind of like magic. Make some changes and they appear up on GitHub. Okay, so let's do that. Let's clone the class. So first thing we want to do is go to your GitHub website, not the class one, just yours. And then in this search button here, we're going to search for, we got to get rid of this default here, and we're going to search for Boulder Rin Lab, the class GitHub. And unfortunately it doesn't go right there. We're going to click on this and then go up here to get to the main one. And here's our class, master class here, and we click on that. I am now still logged in as Genomics here, so this weird looking icon, so you don't have to be logged into this account to do this, and you can do this for any repository on GitHub that has that's public. Okay, so the way we're going to do that is using a fork. That's here, this button says fork. Somebody's already forked this class, so that's kind of cool to know. And so we're going to do that and leave everything the same, and we're going to create the fork. And so now if we go back to our main website, we have the repository. Oops, I clicked that on accident. So if we go here, we can see that we only had these two repositories previously, and now we have the whole class, and we can go into it. We can see the lessons. Now they're not all in here currently, but by the time you do this, they will be. And I'm also going to do at the end of the video how to sync. So in case changes are made during class, you can sync with the new changes and not have to do this again. But we can see the RNA-seq code here, and we'll have all this code to work on and do RNA-seq, attack-seq, and a bunch more stuff. So that's awesome. We have it on our GitHub, but again, the GitHub is just a web interface, and we need to be on a terminal to track the changes in our code. And so I'm going to do this on my local computer. There's exact same instructions. For if you're on a supercomputer, you just basically need to open a terminal and initialize that Git connection like we did in the previous video. Okay, so we've done the fork. We have it in our GitHub, or Genomics here. And we're going to click on this code button inside this repository. We're going to use the SSH code, not HTTPS. Please don't use it. You have to type in your username and password, and it's barely supported. So you want this SSH key. And over here on the right are these two squares that says copy to clipboard. So we're going to copy that, and then we are going to open up a terminal here. And let's just see where we are. Okay, I'm in my main folder, do a list. And I'm going to clone this in Genomics. Now, a note is that when we clone it, it's going to make a folder called the name of the class. So you don't have to make a folder, name the class, and then put the class in it. And otherwise, you have to make longer paths to get to it. So I'm going to go into Genomics, where I'm going to store all my repositories for my computational life, let's say. If I go in here, there's nothing. And so all we have to do is type git clone and that SSH code that we copied from our GitHub after we forked. So go like that, and boom, we now have a folder called the class name. And if we look inside there, is everything. We can go into lessons and see that we have everything we need for class. Awesome. So the only problem now is that we need to make that initialization from this terminal to our GitHub so that any changes happen, we'll be able to see them. And just to review that a little bit, so if I look here, I'm going to go into this master class. I'm going to type in git remote-v. So this is just checking what version I'm connected to on GitHub. And it should be my repository, Genomics. It is. Okay, that's good. But let's say we made changes to the class GitHub on Boulder Rin Lab, you might want to be able to sync and merge that. And so that's what we're going to do for the next couple minutes, is that extra step. You don't need it. You could just do it like this and make a change and push it up there. So actually, let's do that real quick. So we're in here. I'm going to nano a test. I'm going to call it superfun.rmd. Okay, and in here, isn't it cool that you can clone all this code? Okay, I'm going to close out of that. And so now if I do a list, I have these here. And just to go over our git commands, we can do git status. And we see we have a new thing to add, git add superfun rmd, git commit -m, did my first fork change there, and then I'm going to do git push. Okay, awesome. So we did it. So now if we go back to our GitHub here, we see these files exist right now, but I'm going to refresh it, and magically that new file is going to show up, superfun rmd. Okay, so that's all you really need. You can now work from your directory on Fiji, same instructions, or on your local computer, and make changes and push it to your GitHub. But we want to see now if we can sync the main class one and get back to it. So what we need to do that is go back to the Boulder Rin class, Boulder Rin lab, sorry. I'm going to do this shortcut to get here, go to master class, and then we need that code again. So we're just going to copy, I think it's still on my clipboard, but I'm just going to make sure, copy it. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to go back to my terminal, and I am in my master class folder, and then we're going to do git remote add upstream. So that means that add upstream to the Boulder Rin class. If any changes are made there, I also know where that was, and I can grab them. And so we then just paste that code we got from, notice, Boulder Rin lab, the same way we sort of forked it, and do that. And now if I do git remote -v, I see, cool, so I have an upstream to the actual class that I want to sync any changes with. And so let's go to the Boulder Rin class here, and I am gonna I need to sign in to this one. Okay, so I have to verify this. Okay, sorry about that. I've now verified my email. This is a brand new computer, so it doesn't know my class GitHub. Okay, so on here, I'm gonna make a new file. And let's see here. Let's add a new one, create new file. And I'm gonna call it new document.rmd, and let's see if you can grab this from your GitHub. Okay, so I'm going to commit that, commit, and normally we do that with our terminal, but I'm just doing it on here for this purpose. So I have this new document now, and so let's go back to our terminal here. So we have our upstream origin here to the class, and now we just need to tell our Git repository on our local computer or on Fiji what branch, and that's the main branch because there's only one. We're going to do git checkout main, already on main. Okay, that was kind of redundant. And then we're going to do git fetch upstream. Is our next command. Okay, so we're now on the upstream main to the class one from this upstream origin, And again, when you're just working on your own thing, you won't need this. But it's nice to know when you want to sync with something. And then so we can do git merge upstream and on the main branch. Now that, we automatically open this Vim window. I don't know why, but you do shift colon, or just colon, shift colon, WQ. Okay, we got out of there. And so now if we do a list, I can see that new document came. So that's all you'd have to do. Is you don't have to do that git checkout. That was just to be absolutely safe. Git fetch upstream and git merge upstream / main. And that will do it. So you now can go grab any repository you want, clone it to your local computer on your supercomputer, and you have some bonus skills. And if you need to sync, if there's been some changes, as soon as you start your session, you can just do those last commands we did, and you'll have any updates. All right, with that, that's it for this lesson, and we'll see you soon.